Hello, Libra. Welcome to your November reading. I'm Madeleine. Very excited to have you. And we're going to jump right into it. We're going to pull some tarot cards to see where you are and the story of your month. And then we will close off the reading by pulling a couple of guidance cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck and see what Spirit wants to share with you to help you have the best, most fulfilling, joyful, abundant, peaceful month possible. That is always our prayer. So let's get into it, Libra. In the month of November, in Scorpio season, what does Libra need to know, Spirit? What do you want to share with Libra? What are the major themes going on for my Libra family in the month of November? What do they need to know for their highest good, Spirit? I want to always bring them closer to understanding, peace, fulfillment, contentment, security, joy. What do they need to know, Spirit? The truth for Libra in the month of November. What's coming up? And how would you like them to proceed for their highest good? Hey, lucky 13. Spirit's got some extras for you, Libra. Month of November. Where is Libra? What do they need to know? Their highest good. All right. Hey, we love to see it. Well, then there's that. I'll pop up your cards right here so you can see what I'm looking at. Wow. Look at you. You're showing up with a lot of strength, and I'm hearing the word integrity, Libra, which is a beautiful thing. A lot of people here. A lot of individuals involved. Okay. So, Libra, center of your spread, King of Pentacles, sitting, proud, secure, sure of oneself, sure of one's value. If this does not sound like you, Libra, then this is your mission. I can talk. This is your mission should you choose to accept it. That's what Spirit is saying. You know, something particular about the King of Pentacles, as distinct from the other kings, is they're the King of Earth. As a King of Earth, you could take everything away from the King of Pentacles today, and tomorrow he would be getting something else growing. You can never take away what the King of Pentacles has, because what they have is within them. The same is true for you. That is what Spirit is saying. So, the Tower is crossing your reading. For some of you, this Tower moment has already happened. Okay, so if you've already had a Tower moment in the very recent history, last week, the last 10 days, then this is probably what Spirit is referring to. And if you haven't had a Tower in the very recent history, that may be something that you experienced this month. It's a good time to remind you, Libra, two things. These are general readings, so some of the messages are going to resonate and some of them won't, and that's okay. That means they're for other Libras. Second thing is, the Tower is scary. The Tower is scary, and it is not going to ruin your life. And the only point of getting a tarot reading, getting an astrological reading, is not to say, oh my God, I have the Tower, my life is going to be fucked now. It is to get the tools and resources available so that you can be prepared for if and when that moment comes. So the Tower is nothing to be scared of. This is showing up as, hey, something has been unsustainable or false, and that falseness is now finally kind of falling apart, is eroding, maybe even is crashing down around you. But you, Libra, King of Pentacles, everything that you need is within you. So if it gets taken away, you can pick up and move on, and you are what is abundant. That's just what I'm hearing. You are what is abundant. You are what is full. Remain in your integrity. You will be all right. That's just what I'm hearing. Okay, Libra is like, this is falling down around you. You're going to be, in fact, more than all right. In the basement of your reading, showing up as kind of what's going on within you, or what may perhaps be unseen at this moment, the Chariot. Important to note, Her chariot is pulled by both the white and the black sphinx, the conscious and the unconscious, the hopes and the desires and the skills, as well as the fears and the doubts and the demons, right? So my fear of being poor might help me make some money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let me not demonize my fears, castigate, pretend they don't exist. No, let me bring them into the fold. It's Scorpio season. Tower, skin shedding. You know, that's the other version of the tower is like, wait, I'm not ready to grow like that. Shrip, universe says you are ready to grow like that. And it's going to be raw and it feels like, what the fuck? And you're going to find that you are the medicine. You are the abundance. You are the value. Okay? So nobody can take that from you when you keep it for yourself. And that is why Spirit is saying, hold your integrity. This is deep shit. Okay. So the chariot is success, victory, not just despite obstacles, but actually because of obstacles. So it's like I take this big old fucking boulder that was laying in the middle of the road, and I, with a small adjustment, make that shit into a fucking on ramp, and that shit sends me soaring toward what it is that I'm supposed to get. So when an enemy, an opposition, a crappy situation, a tower falls, you will use the rubble, you will use the debris to propel you to the next place. Here's something else about a tower: it was never going to last. That's cold comfort, I know, but it's like either it was going to end last week or it was going to end next week or next year. Did you want to invest longer in something that was going to fall apart, or are you willing to let something fall apart and then, like a good king of pentacles does, compost that shit, you know, take what's useful and use it to sow the next and leave what is trash? King of Swords, crowning your reading. Smart, a leader. I feel like this is an ally to you. I feel like this is somebody who is, you think of this person as, this maybe even like a fellow air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or another Libra, right? Because this is a person who is very much about the way that they think, the way that they communicate, they speak, they write, they have amazing like ideas, lofty ideas. For some of you, this is just what I'm hearing, okay? For some of you, the King of Swords is the origin of like your tower, where this might be like, oh yeah, you know, this person is really, you know, smart and good with their words and whatever, but also like they're breaking my heart, or they don't allow me to be myself and it's falling apart, or something like that. Now, for others of you, this person could show up as an ally. This is why they're general readings, right? For some of you, this person shows up as an ally. This person shows up, what I'm feeling for that set of people is like this person is almost like a counselor, or like a some type of wise person, where it's like whether they're your friend or whether they're like a paid advisor or counselor or mentor or coach or whatever. This person can help you sort the compost from the trash when it comes to your tower. So it's somebody that you think of as very like, I'm hearing cut and dry. So for some of you, that cut and dryness is like annoying and awful, and you don't want that. Trust yourself. Don't go looking for that. It's like I'm getting messages for kind of like almost two sets of Libras, right? So if that sounds awful and that's actually the person who's fucking up your life right now, obviously don't bring more of that in. But for some of you, it could be helpful to have that kind of like objectivity, is what I'm hearing. So it's like they're not you're too close to the case, maybe, and you need to bring in somebody who's like objective, who can see it from the outside and give you some feedback. Where you find yourself, the Lovers. uh it's like a hinge point, it's a pivot point, it's time to make a choice. It's a beautiful place to be, the Lovers. And it's interesting and kind of not surprising in a way that you have the Tower crossing your reading, and then you have the Lovers. Is like, here's the choice: the Tower either exploded or will explode. Do you want to take this as an opportunity to expand your life? You know, Spirit is saying like Big Bang, which is very funny. They're like, the tower was like the original Big Bang, okay? And if that hadn't happened, life wouldn't have happened. So, not all towers are terrible things. Many of them birth whole new fucking universes, okay? That's just what they're fucking saying. So, will you take this as an opportunity to expand your universe, to become more of yourself? Or will you try to diminish yourself? Try to make yourself fit in that tower. Try to pick up the rubble and stick it back together with bubblegum and toothpicks and make that shit stand up again. These are your options. And you know what? There's not a fucking moral quandary here. You can do the one that feels good to you. Spirit is coming in with something they've said to me multiple times, which is in many ways, there are no wrong choices because the choice that you make has the medicine for what you need at the moment. If I was like, ugh, I definitely don't need to date my ex again, for example, then I don't need the medicine of what would it be like to date my ex again. If I am like, man, I kind of feel very intrigued about dating my ex again and I'm going to do it, then I needed the medicine of, let's see what happens if I try this again. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to make yourself wrong for whatever choice it is you make. In fact, think of it as an experiment. Let's go find out what the truth is. Okay? So if you decide to fucking try to put this tower back together with bubblegum and toothpicks, you're not dumb. You're not wrong. You are trying to find out what it's like to see if you can keep a tower going, and you will find out. And that's it. That's it. That's okay. So I see allies showing up for you. I also see you as showing up very attractive in every kind of sense possible. The energy around slash available to you, the Empress. She's Venus in the tarot. She's not the Libra card because that's justice. She's like kind of like the Taurus version of Venus. So it's sensual, it's earthly, it's down here, right? And I think that it's important that you show up as the King of Pentacles, and then here is this Empress energy. So it's kind of like this earthly magnetism. If you are, again, that Lover's card and that King of Pentacles card, it's like if you are open to attracting things of enormous value and pleasure, feels like that's available to you right now. Tap into the earthy aspect of yourself. That's what Spirit is saying. You're very smart, you're very heady. Tap into the earthy part of yourself. I'm curious if any of you have Cancer placements, because Spirit is giving me one of the messages they also gave for Cancer, who I believe also had the Empress, which is inject more pleasure and romance into your life on purpose. And that you can like romanticize, and a Libra knows this, right? I don't probably need to belabor this point, but it's like you can romanticize the way that you take a shower. You can romanticize your morning practice. You know, sometimes all it takes is putting a candle with a little rock or a little framed photo of your 7-year-old self and lighting it in the morning, and, you know, making your cup of coffee with a special type of cup and saucer that you really love and reminds you that you're magical or reminds you that you have a purpose or whatever it is. The difference between a routine and a ritual is the quality of my presence. Show up with quality of presence to these things that are coming up for you. I feel that you are summoning things of equal quality. Okay. So it's like the way that I show up is the way that I'm going to receive. Pardon me. So please show up beautifully, richly, sensually, knowing and resting easily in your value. You don't have to defend it. You don't have to explain it. In fact, I feel like that's the opposite of what you want to do. And I feel that um, it just gets in the way. It causes a clog. Sitting in the past, Ace of Cups. I actually feel, again, for so many of you, the tower is connected to that Ace of Cups where it's like the dam broke. The dam broke. So many of you may have experienced like a sense of breakdown, breakthrough, a rush of tears, a purge, perhaps a rush of forgiveness. But it feels like the dam broke, and that is necessary. It is going to alter the landscape. And I would say that rather than trying to prevent that from happening, you see what happens. And as the King of Pentacles does, you work with it, where it's like, well, I wasn't expecting to have a lake, but now there's a lake here. There's certainly something amazing that could come from a lake, right? So let me make use of this. And I think that you will. You're going to be facing some fears this month and facing some deep emotions, some old memories resurfacing from your unconscious. It's like, oh, this tower breakdown or this dam breaking kind of, you know, unveiled a core memory now that I like, wow, I never would have been able to make this association. And now that I can make it, something can move and something can change. And I'm going to say, please, please, please don't try to keep the peace at all costs. That is going to keep you stuck. And again, there's nothing wrong with you if you decide that you want to try to keep things the way that they are. I just don't see that being the most pleasurable or the most fun. And it looks like there's like a ton of pleasure and fun and passion available. Spirit is saying, be courageous. And Spirit is saying, I think that you're going to. King of Wands, sitting in the future, alongside this Queen of Swords, who is, of course, sitting next to the King of Swords. I feel that you have allies. Who do you trust to tell you the truth? And who can inspire you? Let them help you. There are good people around you. Someone who really knows how to make your, like, help you make your dreams come true. And then there is, again, also someone who can help you sort through your deeper emotions and kind of gain some clarity. Whatever you do, don't try to ignore the place that your intuition, your feelings, your memories, as you know, quote unquote, irrational as they may be, because they are by definition not rational, right? Sometimes we have a dream or we have an intuitive hit, and it's like, I have no rational reason to believe this, but I know it to be true. And I just know that I've got some of my Libras listening who've had, you know, that experience where it's like they're dating somebody and then they get a bad feeling and then they find out that their bad feeling is correct. Don't ignore a bad feeling. That's just all I'm hearing. I don't want you to be scared about it. Spirit is saying, this is your opportunity to say, what do I want? Do I want to pretend, like this person is, that this ocean in the background has no bearing on what's happening? They're ignoring the feelings, which is cups, which is water, which is emotions, right? They're ignoring their feelings and trying to just like, no, I'll use my swords. I don't want to make a wrong decision, so I'll just stay right here frozen until I know for sure, and then I'll move. And Spirit's like, surprise, bitch, we never know for sure. For one thing, is like, we never know for sure. Doubt and uncertainty creep up, and they're not a bad thing. Doubt and uncertainty are entities we meet on the way to certainty or on the way to truth. They help us divine the truth, okay? So don't ignore your feelings, your intuition, your gut, even your fears. Look at them. Take off the blindfold and look at them. This is what this is all about. Look at your fears and decide how you want to move, knowing what could be ahead. I see you making a change. And I hope that it is a change. I think that it is a change that brings you into more alignment with yourself. Like when they keep saying being in your integrity, sometimes being in your integrity means having to say something that is not nice or is not pretty. Like you're not hitting your marks, or you are you're not being honest with me, or etc. It's like, that's not nice to say, and it's what will bring everything into integrity. So sometimes, you know, Libra, we like to be the nice messenger, we don't like to be the Knight of Swords. Sometimes we have to be the Knight of Swords. And if you don't want, Spirit's like, if you don't want to have the conversation, then perhaps you should just cut this person off. That's not going to apply to every Libra, but that's what I'm hearing for some of you. Okay? If there is no way that you will ever be able to be your full self with that person, and you just know that, if you needed someone's permission to cut it off, to make the change, to go boldly, like off in a new direction, do so. Okay. Let us get some advice for my Libras, Spirit, from the star codes. Spirit, what do you want to share with Libra in the month of November as they are sorting themselves, their value, their desires out from other people? And it really looks like you are summoning in what you want and need. Wow. Well, tension. I mean, Tower. I mean, all of these people with all of their various opinions, right? And then Aquarius, collaborate. The really important thing about Aquarius is a little bit impersonal. Aquarius is very like a humanitarian. They're like live and let live. Aquarius is a weirdo, so they don't mind when anybody else is different than they are, has different opinions, is offbeat, is whatever. So, and that's what makes Aquarius a great collaborator. So it's like you don't have to think like me, you don't have to be like me, but you do have to be in your integrity. You have to be in your version of integrity to be around Libra, or else it's not going to work. There will be tension until we decide that we can actually collaborate and be different people. Can we be different and work together? And if we can't be different and work together, then I probably need to cut that shit off because you're getting in my way when I have really cool, important things that I'm trying to do. And that's what I see, Libra. Spirit just said the universe might be moving some things out of your way. And it's not always fun, but it is always in the service of your growth, your progress, your edification, your becoming. Spirit got real deep with this reading. It is Scorpio season. What do you think, Libra? You know what this is? Do you have stories, questions, comments? I'm, as a Libra person myself, I'm like, what's November bringing? I'm very curious. So if you have any idea or if you've had a recent tower fall, let me know. I'd be very curious to hear. I appreciate you being here, Libra. Thank you for listening. I really hope that the time you invest here pays for itself many times over. And I hope I will see you in next week's reading. Bye, Libra.